because I'm fearful, right? When they say open up the box and think outside of the box, it means get outside of the four walls that the box has created for you and see where the world will take you. I cannot do that in fear, so most often people stay inside their box and they call it comfort zone. So if you are out here walking around talking about you in your comfort zone, that's fine. You may even be flourishing in your comfort zone. But you will stay there stagnant until you're able to say there's something more for me, better for me, something that I need to go see. And do not be afraid to fail. So part of the reason why people enjoy my spirit, if you will, is I'm authentic. I'm not trying to be nobody but me, right? And the second thing is I don't care nothing about failing. I done failed so many times. I done told people that part of the best gift I give you is what not to do. When people come to me for business advice or HR advice or advice that they think that I may have for them, I lead with the things that I did that caused me to stumble, and here's the list that you should not do. I'm so good at telling people what not to do. It becomes a gift for them. Because look at the time, the headache that I have saved you if you just do what I told you not to do. I did these things and it did not work out favorably for me. But I had to learn it because I was getting it out of the mud.
Right.
You've come to me for some level of expertise. I do not have the right to pass down the mud. Who's doing that? Woo. There are people who got it out of the mud. Each of us has gotten something out of the mud. The problem with the things that we have learned historically is that getting it out of the mud is some kind of sexy thing to do. Right? It's a barrier. It was a burden. It was painful. It's a sacrifice. And if you should ever get yourself to a place where you have gotten something out of the mud, it is not your job to pass down the mud.
Don't pass down the mud.
That's not your job. That is not your job to pass down the mud. So you pass down the jewels that you have, the knowledge that you have, the lessons that you learned, so that somebody else don't have to get it out of the mud. You got some things out of the mud, B, that Naya shouldn't get out the mud.
That's facts.
Right? Because she's a seed of yours, you should pass down some kind of wealthy information. I ain't talking about money. You should be passing down some kind of jewel that says, Daddy did this, but you shouldn't do that. Right? That is called giving people valuable information. That's what we should be doing. I shouldn't be passing down the mud.
And you know what? Sometimes we look to people for advice and we only want to hear
The good stuff. Absolutely.
Oh, this is all you need to do.
Absolutely.
And it's like, but you didn't tell me that whole other side, and now I done fell back even further. So that right there is a whole word. That's a whole word.
Do not be afraid to fail. If you do something and you fail, take it as an opportunity to learn whatever that lesson is. Write it down, meditate on it, go to church on it, sleep on it, have a cocktail if you will. But figure out what you were supposed to learn and then redo it again. If you fail a second time, figure out why you failed the second time and then improve on whatever that is and do it again. That is what success looks like. That is what progress looks like. And progress is a win. Progress is a win. Stop letting social media, if you will, this world, if you will, people around you, if you will, who are only going to tell you the glorious parts of the story, right? So stop letting somebody tell you the shiny part of the book, right? When there was some work that got done to get there. And so you failing at some things is part of your journey. It's part of your testimony. It's just part of the course. Don't be afraid to do that. If you are afraid to fail at some things, then you are afraid to let your journey have its full potential. Because you can't just win all the time. Right? Somebody lying if they tell you they winning all the time.
But that's what social media is. I'm not going to show you the stumbles and falls. But I'm going to show you when I got the cars and the houses and the money and all that stuff. So
those are the results, people, right? Like let's be clear about what we're looking at. And I tell people all the time, I got to hold you accountable for what you take in. And so if social media is depressing you, if this world of content is taking you out, you have the ability to disconnect. The fact that you are not choosing to disconnect means you are a culprit in your own pain. I can't do nothing about that. right? People have to want to be helped. And so if I hear you, or you're talking to me, or you come to me for any kind of advice, and I hear on multiple occasions that social media or the things around you that you are listening to or hearing or visualizing is taking you out and stopping you from winning, then the key is for you to disconnect. If you choose not to disconnect, it's like Harriet Tubman going back to save some folk and they didn't want